Who here lives here, by the way? Who here lives in New York? All right. I am not from here. I moved here, and I grew up in Louisiana, which, you know, do y'all remember the first time that y'all had to hardcore ignore a person here? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're just like, I cannot engage with this individual. No good can come of it. Because I remember I grew up in Louisiana, very like hospitable place, taught to be very polite. I moved here from Chicago, even more Midwest, nice and everything. So I moved to the city unprepared. I showed up making eye contact. I was over here smiling at people's face like, hey, how's it going? Just every day. It took me 3 weeks to ignore my first person, all right? That's too long. Living in New York is a boxing lesson you have to teach yourself. You know, just after a couple weeks, I was like, all right, tuck the chin, shoulders out, make a Philly shell. Stay ready. I'll never forget it. The first person that I ever had to ignore in New York, I was on the train, and this guy was asking me for change. And when he approached me, he had one ball out. That's a rough approach, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, one ball out, I don't even recognize it right away. Like that, as someone with balls, I still, if I don't see the whole package, I'm like, that's alien. He walked up looking like a monster. I was like, I wish I had a gun right now. That's insane. I was so upset, and he walked out, and okay. So then I was looking at my phone, right? And the worst part is that I'm sitting down, and he's standing up. So the ball is in my peripheral, all right? It's right there. There's no escaping. And it's just, he too close for me to look harder at my phone. It's like the top right of my vision is fucked right now, okay? And so I can't look away. There's no looking away. And he's talking. He's like, come on, man. I know you hear me, man. And then I'm just like, no, just ignore him and he'll go away. And just look at your phone harder and he'll move on, right? And then he starts getting upset. He's like, come on, I know you hear me, man. But the more upset he gets, the more animated he gets. And the more animated he gets, the more he's moving. So now the ball is bouncing. Ball is bouncing up and down. This man is dribbling in my face. And I'm just looking at my phone, and I'm just like, just ignore him. He'll go away. And this is the thing. I didn't cry. I did not cry. I just didn't not cry. Like, I did start to tear up eventually, and my vision got blurry. Because this is the thing. There's no science behind what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I saw when I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't want to see it. So it's not even like something I'm trying to relate. It's just, every time he bounced, it felt like the ball got longer. And I was... That's just so like so then I'm tearing up, and then he still is getting madder and madder. He's like, hey, you can't just sit there. I'm a human being. You can't just ignore me, dog. And he's like bouncing around. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. He yelled at me for so many stops. I genuinely started to pray. And that's not a prayer you think you'll have to pray in a place that's not prison. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting there like, I don't know. I don't deserve this, Lord. I've been a good and faithful servant. All right, this is crazy right now. And then he was like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm done with this. And he goes to turn around, but he's still clearly upset. He's still very mad. And so then, even as he turns around, he's like, and another thing. And then the ball swung. And I was like, sir, you're going to need to kill one of us, all right? Unacceptable. It does feel weird. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but it feels like nothing is actually viral anymore. Like, there's not a shared experience as much on the internet anymore. Like, you'll see something that interests you and it has 2 million views, and then you go to talk to people about it and no one has seen it. Isn't that crazy? Like, your internet is tailored so much to you, so deeply, that it's just your whole experience, which is what 2 million is a lot of views. That means either a lot of people watched it or some very passionate people watched it a lot of times. I'll tell you my favorite video, because I'm sure you haven't seen it. It's only got 2 million views. So, my favorite video this week has a white woman in it. Probably my favorite white woman of the week as well, because she walks in to this police station with a gun, all right, already very good, right? Already gripping. So then she walks in with the gun, and it must be late because there's no cops around, right? But then there's this receptionist like desk and glass, and she just starts beating on the glass with the gun, just beating on the glass nonstop, okay? And then I guess a cop finally comes towards the glass, and she's like, bam, bam, right? And then he moves out of the way, and then she's just walking around, and she's got the gun. I should point something out. The whole clip, she's holding the gun like this. Like it's the wildest gun position I've ever seen. No wonder she didn't hit anybody, because it's just like this the whole time. And she's walking back and forth with the gun like this. Every once in a while she like bam, bam. And then my favorite part is she sits down and crosses her legs, puts the gun down, pulls out what I think is a thermos, takes a couple glugs, puts it back down, gets up with the gun, bam, 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 and then, police tase her and tackle her, and it's all settled. Now, the reason that I'm so obsessed with this video is that there's no sound. So I don't know what she's yelling about. I don't know what any of this is about. I don't know what was said or anything. So then I had to insert it for myself. The video has 2 million views, and I think I am 1.9 million of those views. I think I've not been able to stop watching, because this is my thing. White women are so helpful, especially to the police. So I feel like she just walked in and was like, hello? I found a gun. I found this gun outside, and is anyone here? Hello? Hello? I can't, I'm trying to return it. Is that my gun? And the cop walked up and she was like, bam! Oh no! Because he startled her and she had a gun, and just like a cop when he gets startled and he shoots. And so they're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God, this is so stressful. Oh my God, I love rosé. Anyway, does anyone want this gun? And then they tase her and they tackle her. And then even as they're picking her back up, she's like, it's not even my gun. You guys should be more responsible.
You weren't kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Dude, yes. When your phones get out of jail, you need to watch this video. I'm not even kidding right now. If we could only put it up. It's genuinely insane. I'm so glad you looked it up right now, because some of y'all are looking at me like, a white woman would never walk into a police station with a gun. Yeah, no, I'm telling you exactly what happened. This is crazy. And she walks in, she's like, hello, bow, bow, bow. Thank you for looking it up. This is some of y'all just, wow. You looked me in my eye like, I know a lie when I hear one. I will, okay. You know what's actually crazy? I thought about this weekend. You know what I've never done at all in my life? And I had to really think about it. Never once in my life have I Googled Jada Pinkett Smith. So why do I know so much? Why do any of us know so much? Isn't that crazy? I've never even Googled Jada and Will. I've never sought any of this information. I know so much about them, it feels like we're related. It's devastating. I don't know if y'all saw the most recent interview. She's given her 1,000th. And in it, she says that she says so many things. First of all, she said that she sold crack when she lived in Baltimore, which is believable. That's a very entry-level job in Baltimore. That part I was like, and? But then she also said her and Will been separated for 7 years. Which, what? She also said that Tupac is her soulmate. It's like she's going out of her way to hurt Will's feelings now. This is really insane. Tupac is your soulmate. You've been married for decades. My soulmate's a guy from the 90s. And the more I think about it, And the more I listen to Jada talk, the more that I'm convinced that Tupac died to get away from her. Like, I feel like... Easily. They dated for a while, you know what I mean? And then he got a taste of what Will has lived with. And then he was in Vegas and he got into it with some dudes on some gang shit and stuff like that. And they shot at him and he thought about what life would be like with Jada. And so he just leaned into the bullet. She said they haven't been together. Her and Will have not been together since 2016, which does make the slap more confusing now. That's right, because like that, they haven't lived together since 2016. Now it feels less like you were defending your wife and more like you just wanted to hit Chris Rock. Like, turn that man to a tambourine for no reason. That's insane. It really is. Like, what? Not even defending your wife at this point. You were defending your neighbor, I guess. Haven't lived together since 2016. It also makes the entanglement more confusing now. Watching Will and Jada is just like the Black Inception. You know what I mean? It's just a nightmare and a nightmare and a nightmare. There's twists that nobody asked for. What? Entanglement. Because then, this is my thing. If they weren't together, why'd they have that whole talk acting like they were together? It made them look worse. Why did they do that? It made her look like a cheater and him look like a cuck, but then they weren't together. So what's the big deal now? I mean, the big deal is that she fucked her son's friend, which is... A lot of people don't know that. That was Jaden's friend. So Jaden over there waiting for play dates and stuff. Ain't nobody showing up like it's a Brazzers video. It's so chaotic. No, it's just very chaotic. And look, I want to be fair for a second. I do want to be fair. Everyone comes for Jada and everybody shits on Jada so hard. And I get it. It's easy because she won't stop talking. But like, some of this is on Will. We can all agree about some of this is genuinely on Will. People blame Jada for the slap. That's not her fault. That's a grown man. And he got up there and he slapped another grown man. You can't blame her for that. It's not like she used her powers. And people blame a lot of the marriage stuff on just Jada. Will is also married to Jada. You know what I mean? He could get a divorce if he wants to, but he doesn't want to. He does not want, and if you pay attention to the interviews, he said it. Divorce is not an option. He'd rather them live as single people and still be married than to get a divorce. Which is weird. It is weird. I understand. For a long time, they were the symbol of black love, especially in Hollywood, right? And that's a symbol that he carefully curated that maybe she didn't want to be a part of, but it's one of the reasons he can't let it go because it's a failure that he will not accept, right? But to just live as two single people but still be married is weird. It's very odd. Who is it for? It's not for them. They're not together. It's not for us because now she aired it out. Everybody knows. It's not for the kids because they're already weird. So who is this for? And like, I mean, it must be rough. I do get it. I have empathy for both of them genuinely because I think Will, you know, came on strong, wants to make it work and everything, and Jada was just not having it. And a part of me, you know, I'm wrapping up, but just a part of me, a part of me gets it. Because if it's not the life that she wanted, it shouldn't be the life she accepted. That's fair. You're an adult in the world and you make your own decisions and you need to live by them, right? But also to be fair to her, I don't have a gorgeous millionaire trying to fuck me and marry me. I don't know. It probably seems pretty hard to turn down. I'm not gonna lie. Like if Zendaya walked in here right now and y'all look like you're together, if she told you, bro, if she was like, I want to marry you and be with you for the rest of my life, you'd probably be like, look, I'm in a happy relationship and I found my happiness. I hope you find yours. I'm not saying it'd be easy to say to her. You probably say it after I do, but but y'all have been great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one.
I try to be an optimistic person, I really do. But this does feel like a weird year to have Christmas. This feel like the type of year where you gonna go to bed December 24th and wake up and it's December 26th. You know what I mean? Not just Christmas, all the holidays. It feels kind of wild. All the holidays. It's like, all right, I guess we gotta try. All of it. I don't know a single person that's excited for their holiday coming up. Everybody's like, and I gotta do this. No, not at all. You know, I try though. Try to bring some joy back, some whimsy. You know, I've been going to the mall in every city that we've been going to. If I can make it to the mall, I go to the mall. Y'all remember the mall? It's like Amazon with rooms. No. And when I go to the mall now, especially this time of year, I look for Santa. You know what I mean? Because nobody's going to Santa anymore. It's actually really sad. Like no, you go to the mall and no one is going to Santa at all. It's like we've lost it socially. Like it's not happening. Even when you look at social, you're seeing less and less people post pictures with their kids with Santa and stuff like that. Like we're just not doing Santa. I don't even know if they tell kids about Santa anymore. It seems like they don't tell kids about Santa. My friends have kids, and I don't know a single kid that's like, oh, I'm hoping Santa brings me. All of them got an Amazon wish list. They all. We've lost it. We've lost that like touch of whimsy. We have, you know, now the kid knows. The kid had the wish list, had it all picked out, emailed you. And now if everything not on the list, they're like, I guess times must be tough. Like the thing, this is what Santa did for our parents, right? Santa was this little gap where like some real magic could happen. You came up with your list, right? And you were polite because Santa's a stranger. You don't want to come off greedy. And so you would write down a few things that you would love for Christmas. You would even scratch stuff out. People would pour, like kids that I knew would pour so much attention over, they would stress over their Christmas list. They would go over and over again, they scratch stuff. I know I actually want that. You see this little piece of paper, by the end of the day, it was unrecognizable. So many scratches and then writing over and then scratching and then misspelling, and now you gotta rewrite it because what if you misspell it and Santa doesn't know what that is? You know? And so you would write this letter and then your parents would be like, we'll mail it to Santa for you. You're like, thank you so much. You already doing a lot. That trip to the I remember my mom was like, I'll send this to Santa. And I was like, you really a saint. You know that? Like, you are, because you knew I wasn't going to make it to the post office on my own. Like, you really doing me a solid right now. I'm going to go back to playing with these blocks, but I won't forget this. You a real sweetheart, you know, truly. And then Christmas would come and the presents were wrapped. And even if you stayed up, there were a lot of parents out too crafty. You couldn't catch them. you know? Yeah, you think you were staying up too. You would think you were like, I better go to sleep because if you're awake, Santa won't come, which was kind of true. It was like, all right, okay. And then, you go to sleep. I remember one time I went to sleep. This is on Christmas Eve. Went to sleep. Woke up middle of the night. I was terrified. I was like, he gotta know this one not my fault. Like he gotta. And I woke up because I needed to go to the bathroom. And so I was laying in bed and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to wet this one. I think I'm gonna have to. It's not worth Christmas. All right. I can try to hold it as long as I don't dream about water. I think I'll be all right. But if I get up and then Santa hear my feet, that might be a wrap for the whole year. I've been good all year, not for nothing. I was good all year, and he was watching this stuff, so I'm probably gonna get everything that I asked for. So I can't risk that over a little tinkle, And so then Christmas Day comes. Wow. Christmas Day is here. You wake up excited for Christmas, but even more excited that you see sunlight. It means you can finally pee. And so you bust out of the bed and you run to the bathroom and the door is closed. Someone's in there. And you're like, all right, I've waited for hours. I guess I can wait a little longer. They come out of the bathroom. They're like, Merry Christmas. There's no time. All right. You rush past them, slam the door. You come out. After you wash your hands, you're like, I'm sorry about that. All right. I've been dealing with a lot. Christmas morning, it's time to open presents. You sitting there and you see a bunch of boxes. You see a bunch of boxes, and some of them aren't even boxes. Some of them just gift wrap lumps. And the lumps worry you because you're like, I don't think I asked for anything lumpy. I don't know. This might be for somebody else. He might be confused. You sit down, and maybe every family does it differently. Maybe each person opens a gift and they all take turns, and you're all like, that's great for you. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe you get to open all yours and someone gets to open all theirs and everything. And I was the only child, and I was the first grandbaby in I think a decade or something. So it really was like my mom, my aunt, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa were all in on Christmas for just me. I was so blessed that they really were excited to see me open these gifts. I didn't have to I never had to fight for that sort of attention or anything. They were very excited to see my reaction, right? Which is a blessing, and let's just call it a double-edged sword. Because now, without me realizing, there's a bunch of pressure for me to like every gift because each gift was from one of them, And so I started opening gifts, and there were some years where I was very blessed. I had a bunch of gifts. Some years where I got a few gifts, but they were exactly what I wanted. So I started opening gifts, and maybe my grandma would hand me one and be like, "This is from Santa," I'd be like, all right. I'd start opening it, and I remember the year, a Nintendo 64. I didn't know how unproductive my life was about to get. I didn't know. I was about to have a rough year in math. Because they got me an N64 and they got me Diddy Kong Racing. A true N64 classic. I didn't know it at the time, but I was a part of history. I would lose thousands of hours like many children to a game where you could either play as a plane, a car, or like a little hovercraft tubing thing, which really didn't make any sense. Like love that game so much. I played it for hours Christmas Day. And then, I didn't play it right away. There were other gifts to open. This was a beautiful Christmas, right? I remember I got handed one of the lumpy ones. It also said from Santa, right? And I was like, okay. And I opened it, and it was 2 shirts. Not to sound ungrateful, but as someone with shirts, I was like, ooh, okay, wow, and it fits me just right. I know he wrote Josh, but he must have meant another name. This needs to go to someone who doesn't have shirts. It's just... Because then when you would open these gifts, you would think back to when you went to see Santa and you told him about this, and he was like, oh, yes, that sounds doable. That sounds, well, if you've been good this year, then you have nothing to worry about, right? And then you would think back to that thing when you open the gift and you're like, oh, this is what he was talking about. He said I didn't have anything to worry about and my man came through. And then, as the years pass, you find out. And like Christmas, it doesn't necessarily lose its magic. It just morphs into a different thing. Because one thing that my family would do, I don't know about anybody else, because there are some families where I completely understand. I really don't judge how you try to enjoy the holiday or raise your family, but there are some people that I knew growing up who Santa didn't come to their house because their parents were like, no, I got it. Oh, please believe I didn't work overtime to give the credit to the man at the mall. No, daddy got you that. I remember one time my friend was my friend's dad was talking about it, and because he had said something about like, but what about when Santa comes? That's like all I heard in the conversation. But what about when Santa comes? And he was like, Santa work 1 month out of the year. I work all 12. I'm handling it. I remember this is like right at the cusp of me finding out, right? So this is like right before I found out, okay? But I remember being like, I was still a young kid. I wasn't like itty bitty. I was where you start putting it together. And because, I come from this area in the South, like, come from Louisiana, and I'm blessed to be raised by all of these educators and everything, and just like living down south, you'll experience it sooner or later. And then sometimes your parents try to shield you by arming you with the knowledge of what the world is like before you have to experience a part of it yourself. And so I was being taught about segregation, about how my grandmother was treated when she was a kid, about what laws there used to be in the place that we live. That they were telling me how this thing wasn't that long ago, that people would try to make it seem like ancient history, but a lot of those people are still alive for it, which means it's more recent than they're comfortable with, you know? And I was finding out about segregation right around the time that I saw a black Santa and a white Santa. That's how I remember going to the mall that year and seeing Santa, and he was white. And I sat in his lap like all those other years, you know, and I don't know, I was just thinking to myself, as a little kid, you know, I was just thinking to myself, like, yeah, this is progress, you know what I mean? Like, we always... Because also, you're so little when you were going to Santa, especially in the 90s, when you would go to Santa, that it was a whole other year later. You didn't really put it together that this Santa didn't look like the last Santa. Santa would change it wasn't until I had almost figured it out that I was like, oh, Santa, how you been? This man's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, you just, you know, you just look a little different than... What different? How do you mean? And it's like, that was on him. That was like follow-up questions. It's not my fault anymore. How do you mean? I was like, oh, you don't know? And I guess if you don't feel different, you're not different. But yeah, last time you just had, you know, a glow about you. You know what I mean? Like, because not everybody had the same loving experiences with Santa that I did. I'm aware some people had their bad, you know, their bad experiences. You know, like my friend wrote a letter to Santa because that's how his parents had him do it. Like they were like trying to teach him letter writing and penmanship and everything. They were like, you got to write a letter to Santa, and the letter to Santa has to be clear, it has to be legible, and you have to write it like a letter. Dear Santa, say exactly what you want, and make sure you sign off sincerely yours, your name, right? Write a letter. And so he wrote a letter to Santa, and then he didn't get what he wanted that year, and he was so disappointed. You know, that the next year, this is what they made him do every year. The next year, he wrote a letter to Santa again, but instead of making requests, this time he was just sort of airing his grievances. He was just sort of airing his grievances about the prior year. So he wrote this letter to Santa. He was like, Dear Santa, I'll kill you. You think you can play with me? I was good all year last year, and you didn't bring anything I wanted. You just brought me stuff that my parents told me that I should buy with the money from my lemonade stand. How are you gonna take their side over mine? Thanks for nothing. Good for nothing. Santa. Sincerely yours, Roger. And of course, his parents read the letter, and then he got in trouble. And he felt even more betrayed. He was like, "You read my letter to Santa? Is there no justice?" That was a private conversation. Over here meddling. And so when I go to the mall and I see Santa, it hits different. I remember all of these like special experiences I had with Santa at the mall, right? And then I see Santa over there, and they don't even have him in prime real estate anymore. They got Santa in the back of the mall. They put him in the back, they put him in the corner. They put Santa in the mall, the same places that the airport put Spirit Airlines, where they unless you got a ticket, unless you got a boarding pass, you won't find this area at all. Even with a boarding pass, you always in the wrong area. How you gonna have a terminal 4.5? You know Spirit Airlines, it's the Waffle House of airlines. I've actually flown Spirit plenty times, and I love to see a fight. I love to see a fight. Because here's the thing, and I know Spirit gets like a bad reputation because basically everything that is happening on other airlines is just happening on Spirit, but Spirit takes you to a place where you're willing to go to jail. Like you just like you're like ready. You know what I mean? You ready. And so a fight on Spirit Air, because I'll give you an example. I've seen a bunch of almost fights on Delta. I've seen a lot of almost fights on Delta because what Delta will do is that they will put your layover, they'll make your layover 12 seconds. So you'll leave, you did everything you're supposed to do. You got to the airport on time, you went through TSA, and then you board, and then you take off, and then you land. And you knew it because they did it on your other boarding pass. They were like, oh, the time that you're taking off is the time that you're landing. They're the same time. They're the same. And when you look at it initially, you're like, oh, I must gain an hour. No, it's no time zone difference. Yeah, and so then you land panicked. You land because you're missing it. You land and you're late. You're already late. And so you want to get off the plane as soon as possible. And you will ask the flight attendant, you'll be like, as you're boarding, be like, I have a very, very tight connection. Can you please make that announcement y'all make sometimes about people who, you don't have to say my name, like people who have tight connections, so that if people could sit and then let them leave first and everything, so they have a chance to make it. So they have a chance. You remember chances? And I remember the last time I asked a flight attendant to do this, because my entire group, we had such a tight layover that I was like, it is a significant amount of people on the plane that have to get to the next gate, which isn't close, because that's also too much to ask. It would be crazy if you landed and you had to go next door, right? It's like, no, if you got a layover, the fun of a layover is right. The fun of a layover is running, you know what I mean? It's not a layover if you don't exercise. It's not a layover. There was okay. This is probably gonna be where you turn on me, but look. There was a flight I was on one time where where we landed was my final destination. But those people had like a tight layover. So then they made the announcement. And when they make the announcement, I just sit. I do my best to just sit. Unless the person who needs to get out is like in the window or something. Now I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is also why it doesn't work. Because a bunch of the people that don't have the layover didn't all have aisle seats. Like you basically pushed a bunch of people into the aisle to try to get around them. We might as well all just leave now. You know what I mean? We're actually holding it up now by other people letting you be like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And like letting you pass where there's no room. Aisles weren't made for people. It was made for one person. So when someone's getting by, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's my bad. Sorry. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. And so there was this family, tight layover, right? Not sitting together. Not sitting together at all. And everybody is doing the best they can. I'm not saying they should have planned and sat together or anything like that. Maybe there really wasn't the possibility. Maybe by the time they were buying tickets, it was just a bunch of single seats, you know? And so the family, which was like a big family, it was a Kevin McAllister amount of family. It was crazy. This family had every aisle seat down the entire plane, right? Like it wasn't a big plane. It was one of those where it wasn't just the two seats. It wasn't that small, but within the three seats, it didn't go back that far. Probably had like 30 rows or something like that. But it just straight up like 15 people together needed to get off to go to the same flight. And I knew that because they were talking to each other as we were landing. They were yelling like up and behind each other and talking to each other as we were landing. And they all had the shade up and they were all like, yep, we close. Like it was... And so then we land, they make the announcement, please let these people go, right? So then these people are trying to get out from their middle seat without the other person getting up. So before the other person can even offer to get up and get in the aisle to make room for them, they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Right? If you climb me, don't say excuse me. Do you know what I mean? Like if you give me, if I'm sitting, I'm sitting next to you, sitting like a Christian, sitting. And then you get up and you don't even know what you're trying to give me. You don't know if it should be the back or the front because you don't know how nimble you are, right? They're both bad in their own way. They're both horrible. Because if I'm sitting and then you got to get over me and now you over here just foot in front of the face and you just fighting to not sit in my lap. You over here, if I miss the lap, it's fine somehow. Everything is fine now. And I gotta sit there like that didn't happen. That's crazy. I don't know what's worse. I've had back and I've had front. Front is crazy because front is a relationship. I've had people stand up middle seat, turn around. That's what happened on this flight. Turn around to talk to the person behind who's also in their party and was like, we got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes and it's at another terminal, so we're gonna have to run, right? And then before I can even unbuckle my seatbelt. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. 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 Climbed over me front facing. Whole time I got posted up like this, posted up elbow, trying to block something. Falls on me. Then gets up, gets in the aisle. I was like, where are you going? We married now. And so they were running, right? All running out and everything, because they all pretty much did the same thing. Some of them were nimble, some of them were like, you know what I mean? All running down the aisle. People actually were sitting and not getting up and letting them go. There's a real show of humanity. You know what I mean? I guess the other people on the plane were like, yes, we are here, so we'll wait the other 30. Usually society falls apart in that moment. You know? But let everybody get off. And then in first class was someone who I assume was the grandfather figure of the group. But they hadn't sent the wheelchair down the jet bridge yet. And so Grandpa was sitting in like row 2, aisle C, watching his family run. And then one of them bringing up the rear was like, Grandpa, come on. And he was like, did you forget? And you can see it's like, I don't know, this is me projecting, but it felt like a very like son-in-law situation. Like the way that Grandpa was talking to him, it felt like he married in, because this, unless he just really doesn't respect his own blood like that, this was crazy, right? Did you forget? And then he's like, okay, I'll see if they can send a wheelchair down and everything. And he was like, go without me. Just go. I don't know what trip they were trying to make. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely, there are some people who save up for years to go somewhere exotic, somewhere they've always dreamed of going, or maybe they want to bring their family. There are some people who get the opportunity to go places because it's being gifted to them. There's someone that's bringing their whole family somewhere. I can't imagine the stress this family was under to just be scrambling off the plane like that, right? All I know is that this man, he said, go without me. And this man cupped the back of his neck, knelt down and tried to put his arm under his knees, and got ready to try to pick Grandpa up and run with him. Panic is one thing, but like, never let panic give you confidence. Because look, I'm just telling you what I saw, I'm not judging, but Grandpa was built like Santa. And bro was built like me. So the idea that he was gonna pick this man up and run down a terminal to a terminal in 6 minutes is a delusion. You have a spell on your mind if you think you're making it. He got Grandpa legs right about here. Grandpa over here. And we all heard it, they being loud too. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing implies I don't want to be picked up. What are you doing? You know what he's doing. You grown. You know what he's doing. But what are you doing is your way of saying stop, right? And I don't know. He believes in himself. He trying to make the flight. He bends his knees and gives it a shot. It's crazy when you pick somebody up like I don't know, marriage style. I don't know what this is, but like when you pick somebody up like bride style like that, their eyes and your eyes are like level, right? And so Grandpa over here. Now son-in-law straining. Now he over here. I've never heard somebody muscle tear through their voice. You know what I mean? It's like, are you done? This man said, put me down. To be fair, he had never really lifted him up. Lower the legs down and everything. And then he was like, go. Son-in-law over here. They bring down the wheelchair. I have no idea if Grandpa made it or not, you know? I don't. I just wondered if like maybe a different airline would have brought a wheelchair faster. Maybe as an airline they only got one wheelchair, so then people have to share frequently, you know? It's tough. It's tough. Back of the airport. Back of the mall. I was walking in the mall. I came across a Santa. No line. No line at all. And really, truly, like, I don't even know when the last time it was that somebody made going to Santa part of their Christmas card. Or I saw it on social, like Baby's First, you know, visit to Santa, anything like that. So it does make sense. There's nobody here, you know? And so I was like, I'll take a picture with Santa. I do that. Sometimes I'll take a picture with Santa, especially if it's a situation like this. This dude is gonna be here for like 8 hours and he can't be on his phone. Santa can't be on his phone. So I'm like, let me just, you know what I mean? Support. You know, he's done a lot for me. Let me do something for him. And so I walk up and, you know, I gotta register you know, you gotta purchase it from the L's beforehand. Cause you know, capitalism, right? So I walk up and, all right, I've done this a few times, right? I've gone to the mall, seen Santa, taking a picture with Santa, right? And how do I put this? They are nice to me in a way that's disrespectful. So I walk up to the elves and I'm like, hey, I'd love to take a picture with Santa today. And they were like, what package would you like? I was like, oh, I'll take the digital package with like 2 printouts, right? And they're like, you sure You want to do it today? Because I'm going to be honest with you. That's not even the real Santa. Like, he like, no, for real, he like a low-key backup Santa. Like, he's, you know, real Santa got food poisoning. He called in sick, so they called him. But like, and I was like, well, I'm only here today, so yeah, let's do it. He's like, are you sure? Then the elf pulled out a picture of the other Santa with another family and was like, this is what you're missing out for. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a better Santa. Like, it was like, nah, he had like a twinkle and everything. It was crazy. Like, I don't know if he used Visine for that or something, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you could hear it. You could hear, you looked at the picture, it felt like you could hear his dimples. You know what I mean? You know? And I was like, well, no, I'm here today. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, my man over here by himself, let's take a picture, right? And they were like, hi. And then I walked up to Santa, and this is my thing. This is what I'm talking about being too nice. I'm a grown man. I told you my name. You don't have to call me buddy this much. This is, we get into some real disrespect here. You know, and I know I don't do myself any favors because I walk up and I guess I'm not presenting like this is just gonna be a chill. I'm excited to see Santa. And I think that's what starts us off on the wrong foot Cause he's sitting there and then he see me coming and you can see in his eyes he like, what always hurt me is they look behind me for a family and they and then, you know, I walk up. And once again, yeah, don't do myself any favors because I bust in there. You know, they got the little fenced off area within the fake grass and then all the presents in the tree and stuff like that. And then the trail leading out that is to a line that nobody's in, right? So I walk up and I walk up a little fast. There's no line or anything. I don't know a good pace to walk. I'm not running, but like I'm walking. You know what I mean? I know where I'm going, and y'all made that snake line like it's gonna be the bank. You know what I'm talking about? They got extra fence like there's gonna be a line. There's no line. So then I'm trying to get to it. It's awkward. He's sitting over there. He a maze away. I'm just getting it over with, right? I'm sure from his perspective, because he's being still, it look like I'm running, but I'm not running. I'm walking. I'm walking with some pace, right? But then I walk up, and then as soon as I get through the gate, and I walk up to him like, "How's it going, Sam?" And that is too much. That now he doesn't know who he dealing with. Like now he extra nice because he's unsure. You know what I mean? Man, over here, and this is my thing. I know we two grown men, but like, you gotta stay in character. You know what I mean? Like, cause I roll up, I'm like, "Hi, Santa," and he's like, "Oh." You are supposed to say ho, ho, ho. How do you do the exact opposite of your literal catchphrase? I'm like, "How you doing, Santa?" "Oh." How are you? What's your name? And then I was like, "I'm Josh." And I know that by using my thumb to point at myself, I know that was a wild move. If you use your thumb to point at yourself, you probably don't do everything yourself. If you're using your thumb to point at yourself, you're probably 12. You're very proud of a certificate you just earned or something. It's like, what's your name? I'm Josh. Oh. There it is again. Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? And so, you know, he's sitting there, and there's a chair. There's a chair. There's nowhere else. You have to sit in Santa's lap. It's part of the experience. You do. And so the fact that maybe I seem eager, that's fair. I seem a little eager. And that's on me. I should be cooler about it. I should walk, you know what I mean? I shouldn't jump, yeah, so. But yeah, I go ahead, sit in Santa's lap, but, you know, he even had the little, like, yeah, like, he knows they built it this way. This is how you're supposed to do it, so that. And I sat in his lap, and admittedly, I should have started talking. Like, I shouldn't have just sat there waiting for him to speak or something. But and I know that everybody's doing their best. I never want to put somebody who's making an honest, just an earnest effort down or anything, but. His lap game was lacking. Like this, like I've sat in many laps. I've been serviced by many Santas, and when I tell you this man's lap was weird. Like this, first of all, so I sat in my man's lap, right, and I've never felt anything like this in my life. It felt like the top half was Santa and the bottom half was elves, because like his legs were built like mine. Like he had the skinniest legs. So I'm sitting, I can't even get comfortable. It's like he missing a lap. I'm like, you sitting down, right? Felt like I was sitting in between two rungs of a ladder. I was like, where am I going right now? It was at that moment I was like, maybe I should have waited for the other Santa. Like he just, you know what I mean? Felt like his lap would have had more cushion to it, you know? And then he's like, well, what would you like for Christmas? And I was like, Santa, I would love the Millennium Falcon Lego set, the one that came out in 2004 with about 3,000 pieces to it. It's very hard to find online, and if you could get me that, that would make my entire Christmas. And I think my specificity hurt me here, because once again he was like, oh, I was like, that's the third one. This man said, oh, well, oof. I hope that works out for you. I hope that works out. Where's the magic? I hope that works out for you. is a crazy thing to say. Not it'll be there. Not I'll do my best. I hope that works out for you. Are you ready to take the picture? I was like, yeah, I guess, Santa. Like, over here phoning it in. And then you take the picture, and I'm over here. And he looking at the camera like I'm not gonna see the picture later. Cause I'm grinning ear to ear. I'm with Santa. This man. Unacceptable. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we even doing? You know, like Santa should be battling, trying to fight back for the position that he has lost. Because he has lost it now. What used to be an experience that you waited all year to have is just a couple of clicks to a wish list, and he's left by the wayside. You would think that Santa would be excited to see anybody that was excited to see him. You know? Unacceptable. It felt like I believed in Santa and he didn't believe in me, you know? And so, you know, I get off Santa. Takes a second because he got, I don't know, it was weird. It was like I was so sunken in to the cushion because there was no lap or anything that I was genuinely like over here. Thanks Santa for his time. I'm walking away, leaving the little fenced off area. And just as I'm walking away, one of the elves, I passed them and they were like, see?
Like, I've been traveling a lot, and in traveling, it's hard when you're an adult to look at things that you experienced when you were a kid and not recontextualize them when you get more information. When you're a little kid, the world is face value. Everything that's happening is happening because I guess it's supposed to, or because that's what people do, or everything's very simple when you're a little kid, and then you get older and you see different things, and you look back, you know, and you're like, wow, that's what was going on when I thought things were just normal, you know? And I've been experiencing that a lot with around America with the dollar stores. There are three types of dollar stores. There is Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General. Now, an honorable mention does go out to the 99-cent store. The 99-cent store I want to discuss first, because the 99-cent store is completely unhinged. First of all, they don't have inventory at the 99-cent store. They have what they have, and you either found it or you didn't. You know that you found it or you didn't because what they showcase outside the 99-cent store doesn't make any sense at all. It's just up to the discretion of that, like, franchise owner. The 99-cent store, the store will be here, right? And then they'll just put 2 shower curtains and then 16 potted plants out front. What is this place? Then you walk in and it's like, it's like if somebody truly made a business out of garage. Because
when you walk in, nothing has like a designated spot or anything. There are things hanging on hooks I didn't even remember had hooks. I forgot that each broom I've owned had like a little hook to it. But then when you walk into the 99-cent store, almost like a beaded curtain, you walk through brooms hitting you in your face. 99 the 99-cent store that I went to was so big. It was way too big. It was a warehouse of trash. It was like a hoarder died and then they tried to sell everything. Because the 99-cent store I went to had a stick man. It had a man who would get to the tallest stuff at the top. And this was the worst stick man in stick man history. Like, admittedly, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, and this is a black thing. Like, this is mainly where we shop. There is a stick man. But, like, the stick man was not good at all, because you're used to a stick man getting up there and unhooking something with precision, bringing it down. You know, he might even drop the stick a little bit, catching his hand, hand it to you, right? This stick man was over here. I can't tell if he was nearsighted or farsighted, but he could not see what he was sticking. This man was over here battling. You'd be like, can I get the one up there? He's like, yeah, I got you right now. I got you right now, young blood. Then it falls on the ground. He pick it up, dust it off. No, our stick man was trash, and he had. Okay, look. I need glasses. All right. I'm not better than anybody. I'm not judging. Everybody got their own prescription and that's their cross to bear, all right? But he had the most specific eyes I have ever seen in my entire life. This man had one Coke bottle and one that was very thin. Like, just, it seemed like he just needed a monocle, but he was like, nah, I don't trust myself to hold it on my cheek like that. Go ahead and give me glasses and just make one glass transparent glass. Because he clearly only had one bad eye. Like, it's his eye, like this eye had to be good. Because when you would look at him, one eye looked like he was doing this to you. Right? Like one eye looked super big and the other eye looked regular. But then when you saw him, when he would turn, you could see both of his eyes were regular size eyes. So that was just the glass. And so he had one like Coke, but thick, bulletproof glass on this side. And then one that was very, very thin, right? He would knock stuff over and come pick it up and everything. And he worked at the 99-cent store since maybe before time. This man had been there a very long time. He might still be there now. I don't know. But everything that's there is not like quality. You know what I mean? It's literally 99 cents in today's economy. This stuff isn't even just made in China. This is up off the floor in China. This is the stuff that they throw away in China that they were like, you want this? All right. If you sure. This is how you can tell these are the worst products ever made in the history of humanity. They are so toxic that whatever you touch, whatever color it is, that's the color you are when you get done touching it. If you touch a green broom, you will pull back a Shrek hand, all right? I had a green broom and a blue dustpan because they were sold separately, you know? Goodness forbid you package them together and they're $1.19. You know what I mean? They were like, we can't have that. We'll have each for 99 cents. And then I bought the green broom and the blue dustpan, and one hand was Martian Manhunter and the other hand was Smurf. I couldn't get my hands back to normal for days. I don't know what they painted that with. Spray paint comes out easier. 99-cent store is trash. And then you get to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree made the guarantee a long time ago that everything would be $1, and they were the first to break that promise. You want a lesson in life not being fair? You go as a child to the Dollar Tree and buy one of their very illegal, individually packaged Capri Suns. Capri Sun they don't sell them like this. You're not supposed to do this. That's how I knew I was broke sometimes. Like you a kid going into the Dollar Tree for a Lucy Capri Sun. It's terrible, but like, and you know, they don't put them on the shelf. You gotta know if you know. And so you go up there, you like, all right. Feel like I'm buying weed or something. I'm over here. Come on, sip. Come on. You miming it. You. One time I bought a loose Capri Sun, and the man up in Dollar Tree tried to charge me for the straw. I was like, you are the devil. You are. Ooh, I rebuke you. That's crazy. You gonna sell. That's how I can tell you a demon. You gonna sell me the straw separately. What am I supposed to do with this? Suck it with a safety pin? This is crazy. That's insane. This man over here sliding the Capri Sun to me, and I'm looking at him. That's strong, man. You know, come on. It's like, that's extra, young blood. I'm like, hey, what? From a young age, I could identify with people who rob stores because that was very aggravating. Dollar Tree was over here just, letting themselves run out of inventory. I would go in the Dollar Tree and there'd just be whole spaces, whole sections empty. At least the 99-cent store is packed to the brim with stuff that doesn't even make sense. The 99-cent store would have one of something, proudly. They'd have one of something and the price tag. There was one time I went to a 99-cent store, I saw one bra. That's crazy. I'm like, that's lost and found, if anything. Y'all don't have a single other bra in here. And you gotta hang the bra next to the snacks. You know you shouldn't be selling this bra. Because Dollar Tree would let themselves run out of like everything, and then you walk in, it's just bare shelves and stuff. At least the 99-cent store would try to make sense of things. 99-cent store doesn't make any real sense at all, and you can tell because sometimes they'll sell stuff that should be sold for a totally different purpose. I've been very confused in a 99-cent store before. One time I was in a 99-cent store, and on the shelf it said 99 cents. So far, everything's checking out. It said 99 cents, and then it said hat. It was a hat for 99 cents, right? But then on the shelf, clearly, is a bucket. That's a bucket. It's a bucket, though. Like it is. Like I'm not crazy. That's a bucket. You can make it a hat if you want, if you believe, but that's a bucket. All you gotta do is flip this over on its bottom and put bucket, and we don't have any problems. But hat is crazy. And then when I'm checking out, I bought a broom, I bought a dustpan, and then he's like, and one hat? And I was like, you don't believe that though. There's no way you believe that. Because it's not a hat, it's a bucket. And I want to be clear, it's not even a bucket hat. It is a bucket. A bucket. So then you have Dollar Tree, you know, then you have Family Dollar. Family Dollar, I've talked about this before. Family Dollar really helped me pinpoint on the map of life where I was. There's a quote, I'm gonna get it wrong, but there's a quote by, I think it was Nikola Tesla, that said that man's grasp, the reach, it's man's grasp, what is it?
Man's grasp exceeds his reach.
Man's grasp exceeds his reach. And I think, it's man's grasp.
Reach exceeds his grasp.
Man's reach exceeds his grasp. I was like never gonna correct you because I didn't know either, but like as soon as you said something, it did sound. Yeah. I didn't know either. So man's reach exceeds his grasp, and I think that Family Dollar's inventory exceeds its means, because every year of my life, Family Dollar has been trying harder and harder to be a grocery store. Every time I go up in Family Dollar, they add one more item that they should not have at Family Dollar. I remember the day I went in Family Dollar and saw milk, and I was like, no, we not built for this. A lot of people are gonna get sick, okay? I'm a kid, but I'm still trying to tell adults how to run their business. I was like, y'all don't even have the fridge space for this milk. Come on now. And Family Dollar has always helped me keep track, truly, being honest with myself of where I am on this map of life, right? Because at first, I walked in Family Dollar, I saw milk, and I was like, y'all, don't do this. And 2 years later, I was like, let me go ahead and get the milk. 3%, you say? I've never heard of 3% before. That is interesting. I've never had 3% in my life. Maybe I'll get stronger bones. Who knows? So you got Dollar Tree, you got Family Dollar, and then you have Dollar General. Dollar General is the stuff of nightmares. Dollar General is straight out of a horror movie. And I don't say that because of the experiences I've had at Dollar General. I say that because of where they put Dollar Generals. Dollar General will be the last thing you see before you die. And not in a curse sort of way, not in like the Ring sort of way. Dollar General will be put in the middle of a field. Whether you are in the South or the Midwest, the only places Dollar General truly exists and thrives is the middle of nowhere in the South, the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, and the Sahara. I don't know. By the time you see a Dollar General, you're like, is this a mirage? Because I've seen nothing but fields for 30 minutes and then one Dollar General. With a man working there from the 1800s, who knows? Those Dollar General people that work at Dollar General get bold with you when they're out. When you out in like their area, you at this Dollar General in like Ball, Louisiana. You walk in, it's like, not from around here, huh? It's like you even talking like the movie. Who says that to a customer? Not even where you from. Not from around here, are you? Oh. Now you can tell a Dollar General is terrifying. Because out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, I'm just talking about my experiences growing up, you know. Out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, a Dollar General is the least likely to be robbed, all right? I've seen Dollar Generals, you know, be on the news, not for being robbed, for the attempt. Do you know the horror that has to go down for the attempt of a robbery to make the actual news? Nothing got stolen, but everything that happened was still so bad that it made the news. There was a dude who was on the news. I'm pretty sure it was Dollar General, and this dude made the news because they ran up in the Dollar General trying to rob it, which also not a great plan. Dollar General doesn't exactly have a lot of sales going on. And so for all the sales they do have going on, let's just say no Dollar General I've heard of needs a safe, all right? And so to run up at a Dollar General to rob it, you already expect them to run out with like $26, okay? But this man ran up in a Dollar General trying to rob it, right? And not only did they take his gun, they beat him with his gun. And then the getaway driver called the police on them. I'm just curious how that went. Because when you run up in a place to rob it, you at least have what one would hope is the element of surprise. You would hope a place doesn't get robbed so often that they are ready like Neo from the Matrix to snatch the gun out of your hand as soon as you walk in. I'm sure people going in to rob a place have like a rob and walk or like a gun-toting bravado maybe. But imagine being robbed so often that you're like, no, when they come back. Because this is the thing that blows my mind, is that we're in the South, and this dude ran up in a Dollar General to rob it, and they didn't shoot him. The South loves guns. We love guns. And we, like a fever dream, wish we could shoot someone. And then here is someone running in with a gun to do evil. Someone that the law would say, shoot. And the employees at the Dollar General were like, actually, I really prefer hands. Imagine how crazy you have to be, how bad of a week you must be having for somebody to run up in there with a gun out to rob you, and you go, this is exactly what I needed. You know what? Let me tell you something about the Lord, all right? The Lord won't put more on you than you can bear, okay? And the Lord knew people had been trying me all week. People I wasn't allowed to hit. People that I could never put my hands on. And so then the Lord sent you to me at work, the place I hate most, to go ahead and take out a week's worth of frustration on you with the butt of this sawed-off shotgun. Imagine you run into a Dollar General to rob it, gun already out. Hey, everybody freeze, whatever he said. And then the employees turn and he's like, open the register. And they're just smiling. You don't know what happens next. Maybe a blackout. Maybe you watch them take the gun out of your hands because you weren't expecting that. And then you see the butt of the gun coming back real slow. I'm sure the next part is a blur. I'm sure all you really know is you hear yourself getting whooped. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You forget, was this my gun the whole time? It's not acting like my gun. You wake up. The police are standing over you, and you haven't been arrested. Because all the damage was done to you. Oh, Dollar General, insane. It's crazy too, because every once in a while Dollar General will buy a store that used to be a nice store. Like, it used to be like a dope store. Like, truly, it used to be like crazy. Like, I remember there was a place I went with my grandma, and I don't even remember the name. That's how like little I was, where it was just a memory of being with her holding my hand, and us walking into this place. And you know how when your little things are bigger? So I'm sure if I went there now, it would look like the size of a regular department store. But she took me to this place, and it was huge. In my head, it was so big, right? And she bought some socks, she bought some other stuff and everything, and then we left. And I remember when I would ride with her, because, you know, I would go with my grandma during the summers or after school. My mom would drop me off at my grandma's because she would still be working and stuff. And so when I'd run errands with my grandma, we'd pass that place over and over. I'd always want to go back inside because I had such a fun memory of, like, there were so many toys. It's just huge, right? And it had closed. And so my grandma would remind me every time that it had closed, right? And then eventually it became like a dollar store, like a chain dollar store. And I remember it being like, man, that place was cool. And now they sell 3% milk. Okay. Is it? I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I told my friends a story a long time ago about how my friend met this woman online, right? And this was back when meeting people online was still like not quite done. It was still new to do that. And the woman that he met wanted to meet up one night, which is exciting because this is why you do it. And she said she wanted to meet up, and he was like, where do you want to meet? And she was like, oh, behind the library. Which should have been a clue. Said she wanted to meet behind the library, and he was like, oh, okay. Which library? Because so she told him which branch. And then they met up, and it just took him too long to realize he was being robbed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... Like, even when he showed up and it was two dudes, he was like, but where's Sarah? It's like, You need to wake up, dude. Sarah's a fiction. And that's the way that I feel about Trump federalizing DC. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I was watching it this morning and watching them talk about it, and it was an interesting speech because you would have thought he would have stayed on crime the whole time, but he definitely diverted a few times. Like there was one point where I really don't like. I'm not even joking right now. I genuinely don't understand what he was trying to say, because there was one point where he was talking about how like trans people fight or something, and it just started to feel like the kind of conversation you have with someone who is 2,000 years old. Like it just. It was weird. It was like he, because it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like part of the thing. And then people, you know, are obviously like worried, terrified, confused and everything. Because there are people who are like, he can't do that. That's not legal. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, what are you, a Democrat? Like, this is the goofiest. That's illegal. It's like, all right. That's what my buddy said when he was getting robbed, too. He was like, well, this is illegal. Stop. Out of your mind. Hey, that's illegal. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. That's a question that Democrats constituents ask. That's a question that Trump is asking. That's a question on everybody's mind right now. If you oppose what he's doing, what are you gonna do about it? You know? And I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know what to do at all because I genuinely don't. I mean, I know that people protested today off of the announcement, off the fact that, like, just imagine you live in DC and Trump says he's gonna like deploy the National Guard, and you just, like, not only is crime at this like 25-30 year low, but like you just got to the point where you were probably starting to feel kind of safe on the street, and now it's gonna be the National Guard looking at you every day, confused why they're there too. You know, people forget that the armed forces, like obviously, you know, soldiers are supposed to follow orders and everything like that, but the armed forces are filled with people of differing backgrounds and opinions and everything. So it's not as if everybody that ever gets deployed is excited to be deployed. And it's not as if they're always well taken care of when they are deployed. You know, these people, they signed up to do a service for the country. I'm curious how they feel about being deployed against the people that they're supposed to protect instead of against like some foreign invader or something. You know, I'm not gonna act like I know. I've never served or anything, but I've talked to people in the service, and they come from all different types of backgrounds. They vote in all different types of ways, and I'm sure that if you're walking down the streets of DC feeling disheartened, feeling like you're being occupied, there's probably somebody standing there as you walk into work that's like, know, because it has been on my mind all day, and trying to figure out how to not just like talk about it, but say something more than just like, I think that might be bad. Like, I think that we're having a moment a lot like my friend had, where it's like you just have to be very aware of what's happening, because to not be aware doesn't mean the thing will go away, you know? Like, we don't want to be behind a library going, "Where's Sarah?" for our entire democracy. Because that's, yeah. I think that's the thing that I find so, like, aggravating about it, is that he is a person that tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it. And then there are people who supposedly like him that are positive he's not going to do the thing they said he was going to do. They're like, no, he won't do that though. And it's like, then why would he say it? He trolling. Like, he's just like, all right, but what if he's not? No, he wouldn't do the thing he said he'd do. Who does that? You know, because I'm not going to act like I know what to do, and I think it's more important for everyone should know who, on every level, their representatives are, and what they do for you, and what they're doing for you right now. And it's easier to hold those people to account when you know who they are. You know what I mean? Like your state senator, or everything down to, like, you know, alderman. Everything. Because it's the fact that these people go unnoticed, the fact that we expect whoever, business people, celebrities, whatever it is, to pick up the slack of the people that were elected to do those jobs. All right, like we're in a position now as a country that's very scary, because we look to companies to do some of the work that local government should be able to do. And now we've stripped resources from local government to the point where you do need who knows, Amazon to come in and bring in jobs, because how are we going to get jobs now? Or you need on a state level companies that you give everything to, and they give you very little for the resource that you're missing, you know? And so now we're at a point where some of our infrastructure is completely buckled without us really realizing it. You know, there's been such an influx of money into the economy because of AI, and because of the gamble and the race to be number one in AI that all these companies are making. There's been such a rush to build and fill these data centers that money is flowing in a way that, you know, the effect of the tariffs isn't fully being felt. The economy and the like 5 top businesses in the S&P 500 are now carrying most of the weight of the S&P 500. Like, we're at a point that's close to tipping, and it's very important for the people to be held accountable. They're actually accountable. You know, it gets very easy to divert and get mad at this person, or notice that this person said something, whatever it is. It's the actual people who vote on these things, who have the power to say yes or no to large companies, knowing that you know where they are and what they do, that holds them to account. As long as you are distracted, or you're blaming whatever, the person to blame when it's too late, then things are going to stay the same. You know, representatives, to me, work a lot like when you're out with your friends, and let's say you're like young too, maybe you're like 21, out at a bar or a club for the first time, You don't have any experience with this stuff. You're just the 4 or 5 of you guys all together, buddies in college, going out to like a bar or a club for the first time. You don't really know. You don't have any swag yet. You don't have a ton of confidence. All you know is you see 4 or 5 beautiful ladies across the room. And so you think to yourselves, oh, well, what should we do? One of us should say hello. We should say hello, you know, and then maybe they'll want to come over here, or maybe we can go over there. But it should just be one. If it's all 5 of us, that's just you have enough wherewithal to know that all 5 of you approaching at the same time maybe isn't the move. 5 horny men approaching all together. Oof, doesn't come off well. You know what I mean? If all 5 of you are it's not going to go fantastic. You know that. So you decide, I'm going to send, we'll send a representative. One of us, the best of us, to make us look good. We'll send them over there. He'll charm everybody, and then we'll walk over and reap the benefits of his hard work. Or maybe he'll be so charming that he'll invite them over to our table, and then we can order drinks for us and them. But we'll know that we sent him, he did a good job, and then he'll come back to us. And so your friends, they start campaigning. They start campaigning with promises, you know? No, I can go over there. I can do it. It's like, no, listen, Daryl, you blink too much, all right? You blink way too much, all right? You gonna run up in there, they gonna think it's a bomb under them or something. You blinking too much. You blinking now. Stop blinking so much. We can't send you over there. You look nervous right now. And so then the group nominates Mark. Mark has at least had a girlfriend. He knows how to talk to women. He's had a girlfriend, he has sisters, and a mom. He knows what to do. Let's get Mark over there. So Mark, elected by the group, goes over there, you know. And even before he walks over, he says something that Mark would say. You know, he stands up and he's like, hey guys, thank you so much. All right, your faith in me means a lot. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna do my best for us, for all of us, okay? I appreciate you all so much. And look, I'm gonna do my darndest. Who knows what the result will be, but your faith in me means the world. No matter what, we're gonna have a great night tonight, okay? See y'all in a second. And then he goes over, he makes his approach. And because Mark is engaging, he's sweet, and he's interesting, he's easy to talk to, and because he's extroverted and he's outgoing, he knows how to approach without creeping or intimidating. And so quickly, you see these 5 ladies having what looks like a really good conversation with Mark. Things are looking up. This is incredible. The body language is phenomenal. Mark is over here working the room. And then Mark makes that motion and he points at y'all. Y'all weren't ready. You didn't know. Everyone was about to look over here. And so Mark points over at you and you're like, Mark turns around and keeps chatting, and after a while, things start to slow down. You don't really know why, but some nods and still a couple of laughs. And then Mark, he doesn't beckon you over. He doesn't give the thumbs up like they're about to head back with him. And he comes back. He sits down. And your dumbest friend is like, how'd it go? And Mark says, well, fellas, they all have husbands. But Mark did his best. And that's not actually his fault. He tried, right? You can send a representative. They can promise to do something, and maybe the thing is bigger than the promise that they made. That is possible. That they tried as hard as somebody could try. And they didn't deliver because the circumstances weren't there. But let's talk about a different scenario, a more common scenario. Maybe Mark was sick. He wasn't even there. He's at home. Your buddy Chet is campaigning. And Chet campaigns on some pretty jarring promises. He's like, look, I'm going to go over there, all right? I'm going to be like, what's up? Be like, hey, ladies. You know, that'll get their attention real quick because I'm going to pop up right in. I'm not even going to just like stroll up. I'm going to walk up and then I'm going to clear those last two steps real fast, really get in their face. Bow, right? Like that. What's up, lady? And I'm just going to tell them what it is. I'm like, you could have a boring night or you could have a night with us. And look, Chet is the loudest. He's the loudest. He's the most adamant with the supposedly strongest campaign. And so you elect him. He unfortunately becomes your representative. And you see him off, and he doesn't give a speech like Mark did. He gives a speech like, all right. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be smelling like perfume. All right. And then he walks over, and you see him walk over, and his approach is startling. Because he can't just walk over. He's doing like he's doing a walk that's like kind of Denzel, but if Denzel was severely hurt. You know, Denzel has that swag to his walk. Chet is over here. And then he does what he said he was going to do. He walks up, and you can't really hear him, but you can see the body language. You don't hear him give his little speech, but you can tell when he gives it because everybody slapped him. And then he walks back over. He sits down. your dumbest friend goes, how'd it go? And he's like, man, let's get out of here. Everybody's stuck up in here. And it does feel like that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty bad situation. There's way more Chets than there are Marks.
You know, because I used to look around, especially when I first started touring, even when I was in some of the worst, motels, hotels, like some of the worst, like. But I did the first time I ever got a chance to travel this country at all and meet new people who were from new places that I had never been to before. Not only did I have a good time because I was having these new experiences, but I really felt like I was seeing something really, really beautiful. Everybody wasn't happy and everybody didn't get along. I'm not like pining for a time that didn't exist. I'm just saying that like really getting out for the first time in my life all those years ago felt a lot like walking through that department store with my grandma. It was really special. I look back on it fondly, and I am genuinely afraid that we've gone from that to a dollar store that sells 3% milk.